Hello, I am here to share with you today my dry winter skin foundation routine that nobody asked for in particular, but I'm going to show you anyways because I have been trying out this combination for over a month now and I have been loving how it's been making my skin look because I have dry skin as it is, but the winter months can be especially unforgiving and I usually suffer from dry patches and flakiness and my foundation just doesn't usually look as good as it does the rest of the year. So when I found this combination, I was like, I am gonna share it with you guys as soon as I nail it down. I nailed it down, I love it, and that's what we're doing today. So hopefully I can share with you some tips and tricks and help you if you suffer from the same thing that I do. By the way, if you happen to be stumbling upon this channel for the first time, my name is Ashley Ellix and I post cruelty-free beauty related videos 3 times a week. And if you want to see more from me, then you just make sure your little red subscribe button is tapped and the bell next to it, and then YouTube will notify you when I post those videos. But I'm ready to just dive right into it. And if you are too, then all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. Boop. So, of course, I always start off my day, my skin, my foundation routine with my skincare products. And I use all Jan Marini skincare products that I pick up from Two Beauties, which you can now shop online. She just launched a website a couple weeks ago, so that's really exciting. I love those skincare products. I feel like they've really changed my skin. If you've watched me for a couple years, you kind of know my love of those products. So good, especially with my hyperpigmentation. It's gone down so much. But anyways, jumping into this part of the routine, I'm going to start off with the Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. This primer has like a lotion type consistency, and even though it says silicone-free, I don't know what they use in it because it still has that slip kind of feel, not like that kind of, I don't know, not like that Smashbox original primer, not that feeling kind of like that, but it's different than a regular face lotion. I definitely feel a primer aspect to it. And when I started using this primer, like, I don't know, was it a little over a month ago, I was like, I can't believe it's been sitting in my drawer not being used because it feels so incredibly nice on my dry skin. They actually sent it to me in PR for a go, and I used the other stuff that they sent me. Like, I love their cleansing, their makeup removing cleansing balm. Oh, that stuff is so good. I love their under eye patches, but this one I was waiting on and I don't know why, because once I start using it, I wanted to kick myself in the face and I was like, I needed to be using that. Okay, and then this is a product that I've loved for a really long time, and now I feel like I need a little bit of help with my pores when it comes to the foundations and stuff I'm gonna be using. So I'm using the Revolution Pore Blur Face Primer. You can tell it's well loved because all the lettering's rubbed off. I just take a little tiny bit of that and I'm only gonna put it in the specific pore areas that I need help with. So right around here, and then I do a little bit on my forehead and like the smile lines and chin. Just right there. The moisturizing primer went everywhere else. That is like the main babe. I think that the pore primer is probably intermixable. I haven't used any of my other ones because I love this one so much, but that moisturizing primer is so nice. My skin, even if I don't want to wear foundation that day, I can grab this and it just feels really nice. Okay, and then because I have discoloration on my cheeks and I like a little bit more coverage, especially in those areas, I do conceal my cheeks ahead of time. So I'm going to go in with the Kosas concealer. I forget what the exact name of this one is called, but I believe it's the only one that they offer right now. I had like some struggles with this concealer, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it really depends on what you pair it with. And this combination that I'll be showing you today works really well. So I'm just going to take my little flat kabuki brush, just blend that out on the cheeks. If you have any areas that need a little extra coverage, you can do this before the foundation if you want to get that kind of more hidden full coverage, And just in case you want to know my shades of everything, this one is going to be in the shade 02. Already that just makes such a difference because my skin is glowing and then I get that little bit of coverage in the area that I want it to be. But we're going to add foundation now. So if you've been around again, at least for this year, you probably saw me originally reviewing the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. I had some difficulties with this foundation, I'm not going to lie, but I think it really depends on the kind of pairing that you do with it and the technique of application that makes all the difference with this foundation. I can't use it in my traditional way, but I really like it. Say on days I don't really want to wear anything, I can just do it with my fingertips, throw it on, and it kind of evens out my skin tone and coverage a little bit. And I don't really feel like I have to set this one very much, which is nice because it dries down, but it still gives that glow. But if I want to get kind of a more it's not like a full coverage look that we're doing today, but it's borderline. And I feel like my skin looks really healthy and glowy. That's when I've been grabbing this one with this exact pairing, and it's been going so well. So I'm gonna take a couple pumps of that, the back of my hand, and I'm in the shade Light Neutral 22. I'm typically a light neutral range, so whatever that is. Usually that's my fail safe in case you want a reference if you feel like we have similar skin tone. And then I'm gonna grab this is the brush that I actually got when I picked up that one. It came with like a little gift with purchase. I don't remember what it's called. It's one of their flat angled kabuki, but any flat kabuki brush will be fine. And then I'm gonna dip that from the back of my hand, not too much, just a little bit. And I'm gonna start applying it over that primer and concealer. Just kind of pressing it in. Moving it around, blending it out. This is like my dark horse foundation of the year. I didn't see myself falling in love with it as much as I have. It's really wild. Now I'm gonna go in with concealer, and this might be frustrating because I am gonna be using two different concealers, one that we were just using a minute ago, but there's a reason for it. And the reason is it's pairing really well together, so I like to do it this way. It's not too drying, it's not too high coverage, it's just the perfect balance for this foundation base. So I'm going in with the Kosas like we did on my, cheeks, and then I'm also going in with my other favorite concealer, which is the Tarte Hydro Sealer. This is a lighter weight coverage concealer, so especially on days that I just want to wear like a little bit, I'll just do this and the It Cosmetics if I want to, and then that's it. But because I want to beef up the coverage a little bit more, that's why I'm going with Kosas. Now I talked about the trouble that I had with this concealer originally, and I'm still not like obsessed with it because it creases a lot and like rolls in the fine line area, and you have to like really set it down. But for some reason, when I pair it with this Tarte Hydro Sealer, it works perfect. So the two together beef up the coverage, but make my under eyes don't look all dry and cakey, especially in these dry months that I don't need any extra dryness. So again, I'm the shade 20N Light Neutral in that. So just light neutral across the board. I'm gonna go in with the Hydro Sealer first, because I want to use more of that, and I'm just adding a little bit. If you already have the Hydro Sealer, I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but play around with adding any other concealer. I don't think it has to be Kosas. It's just, I'm kind of trying to use it up and get use out of it and make it work, and I found a way to make it work, because, I paid for it, so I want to get use out of it. And I'm going to, so I applied it under my eyes. I'm applying it in the same areas I normally would, right there, just like that. And I think because this is so hydrating, that's what really helps the eyes, and it dries down nicely, where the concealer from Kosas is a little bit more creasy. So I'm gonna add just a little bit right there, because if I add too much of this, I will still get the creasing problem. So I'm going back to the flat kabuki brush I was using in the first place, and I'm just blending that out, baby. Now I just grabbed my Shop Miss A AOA Studio little mini Wonder blender. Love these, they're like $1.55, and I always stock up on them, but it's slightly damp, and what I do is I just gently press it onto the skin. I don't want to disturb anything, but I want to take off any kind of excess. And then lastly, I go underneath the eyes to make sure that, again, there's no excess that will cause rolling and creasing. Okay, and now again, sorry, I have two setting powders I'm gonna be using, but for good reason. I have the Too Faced Banana Powder. Just remembering, I'm not sure if they're still making this. If they are, then that's awesome. If they're not, you might be able to find it at TJ Maxx or on sale on Too Faced website, or maybe in the sale section of some places. But anyways, it's a brightening setting powder, and it is pressed, so I don't have to use very much of it. Like I said, this foundation kind of sets itself a little bit, so I really don't need to do a loose powder for this. And bonus, it smells like bananas. I love it. This one is specifically used under my eye area though, again, to add for more brightness. And it just gives, I don't know, a less dry appearance. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm taking this little Sigma brush that I got in the rose gold set, and I'm gonna just press onto that area. I don't want to sweep because I don't want to move around and shift anything. I just want to press and set. And I take it down to the nose in kind of like a triangular area. And then the second setting powder I'm going to be using is my other favorite. It's the It Cosmetics by Pores Pressed Powder. Absolutely love this powder. I really feel like it blurs out my pores and it sets very nicely, but not too much. You know the drill. It's taking the same brush and I'm just going to press it again pretty much everywhere else. Some people just focus this in the pore area, but I'm just going to press it everywhere, man. Okay. Okay, so that is the base routine for my dry winter skin. I'm going to show you my favorite topping products. Well, I'm going to do my eyes and everything separate, but I absolutely love these Cover FX monochromatic blush and bronzer duos. They're so good. First though, I'm going to go in and contour really quickly. I'm going to grab my Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette, which I've been seeing go like on sale. So I don't know, this is weird if they're making this or not still, but I've seen it on sale a couple times in the last couple months, which is awesome because then you benefit from it if you need a good contour palette. Oh, and PS, I use the shade Princess Cut in that palette, this one, because it's more of like a neutral base. It's not too warm because I'm going to get my warmth from my Cover FX monochromatic bronzer in the shade Sun-Kissed Bronze. These are stunning, so pretty. It has a matte side and a shimmery side, not like super shimmery, just like a glowy side. It looks like it would be a highlighter, but they're not. I like to just mix the two. So I just am warming up my face a little bit with this. And then the blush I'm grabbing from Cover FX is the shade Soft Peach, which is my other favorite. If you watched my Insta stories a couple weeks ago, I completely smashed it, but I was able to press the matte back in because it's so like, it's not a creamy formula, but the powder itself, it has a good silky feel that was able to press back in so nicely. So what I do with my blush is I take my brush and I focus it up here instead of on the apples of my cheeks, because I never was a fan of blush until I started doing this trick. It keeps me lifted. I always felt like when I put blush on the apples of my cheeks, it just looked off for my face shape. I just was never into it, but now that I'm doing it up here, it made me fall in love with blushes, I'm telling you. And then for highlighter, I'm just gonna be using my Ofra highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive, which I have in this palette right here. Of course, you could purchase it individually in the large pan size, maybe even a travel size, but you can honestly use whatever highlighter you want. This is just my favorite. Slap that on. Give myself some extra glow. I was hearing somebody recently, I don't remember who, maybe a couple people say like, highlighter's out. Remember back in the day when we would put so much highlighter on? And I'm like, back in the day? You mean yesterday? And then later today when I'm putting it on my face again? I am not over highlighter. I don't know if I ever will be. I'm sure one day I will be. But today is not that day, you guys. And you know what? I wasn't on the internet, but I was one of the first to be using highlighter. I used the shade Albatross from NARS back when that was like the only highlighter that existed. It was 2000, I'm not even kidding, like 2007 when I started using it. I remember picking up in Sephora. It was one of my first Sephora purchases along with the Smashbox primer. So it ain't going anywhere it's not going away from my face. But one more step I like to do that I really feel makes a difference with this base makeup. This setting spray, it's a little bit pricey, but I really have been liking it except for the smell of it. But I really love the glow this gives my skin, and it also sets my makeup. And it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I was sent this from Charlotte Tilbury and Influencer to like review originally, and love this glow. I just feel like it instantly, like because of the powders and stuff, they mattify a little tiny bit. This just brings it all back to life. And look at my highlighter pop even more. So I really, really like it. Okay, but the smell specifically, and I don't know if it's just because I'm pregnant and things smell weird to me, but to me, this smells like a dollar menu hamburger from Burger King with ketchup and pickles on it and that weird type of bread that they use. It's not weird, but that specific type of bread that Burger King uses. That's what it smells like to me. I don't enjoy that, so I don't know if I'll repurchase it just from the fragrance alone, but maybe I would because it works so well. I don't know why. This is a luxury product. I expect a luxury fragrance or no fragrance at all. I don't expect a dollar menu hamburger. Anyways, this is what the base makeup looks like for my dry winter skin foundation routine. I'm gonna go do my eyes and brows and then we will wrap up this puppy, okay? The rest of my makeup is all done and completed, and this is how everything is looking. So I feel like my skin just looks so much glowier, healthier. I don't have any dry patches like I typically do in the winter months. Everything's been going really well. In case you're interested to know like what I'm wearing on my lips and eyes, all of everything that I've been using today will be listed down in the description box for you to check out. But that's about it for today. If you enjoyed this video and this was helpful, please give this video a little thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed yet, I would love it so much if you consider subscribing before you go. That way you don't miss out on my future videos, which is at least 3 times a week, all beauty, lifestyle related. And that is it. I hope that every single one of you, please take a little moment out of the day and just enjoy the season and the moment and take some time for yourself and have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful, lovely, happy day.